Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Gayle Carson. Welcome to Living Regret Free, a program that shows you how to live a better and more joyful life. As an added bonus, I invite you to listen to an introduction to my Mindset Matters program, which ties into this so well. Go to www.sobmindset.com. It's free, and I know you will enjoy it. If you'd like to contact me personally, drop me a line at gaylecarson13@gmail.com or go to my website, www.spunkyoldbroad.com, and sign up for my weekly newsletter. Hi, everybody. This is Gayle Carson, and I am going to be your host for today, just speaking myself. And the reason I do this is every once in a while, usually every 6 months or so, I do a podcast for myself, a radio show for myself, to tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life and what I'm doing, because I think it's important for you to know the things that I concentrate on and love to do. So this morning I'm going to talk about what I call the SOB clubs, Spunky Old Broad clubs. And why do I think that they're important? First of all, you know that I am the spunky old broad, but you are spunky, open, and brave. That's what SOB stands for, spunky, open, and brave. And I always ask, are you living life to the fullest? That's the key thing. Are you living life to the fullest? And I see people in business feeling trapped in dead-end jobs. I see them feeling frustrated and clueless as a way out, or feeling this way even in their personal life. Well, I'm a believer that we really are our own worst enemy, and the answers you seek are really right inside of you right now. You just haven't decided, how to get there, or maybe you don't have the tools to get there. And as a mentor for over 50 years, and boy, that is something to say, over 50 years, for thousands of men and women, I've helped people just like you find their authentic voice, to uncover ways to use their strengths and skills to follow their dreams and reinvent their current life. So I hope that you're going to let me share my knowledge and insights with you through the words and work that I profess on this radio show, the podcast, on my website, in my writings, everywhere that I touch people when I speak. I'm very lucky that I'm still at my age, still speaking in front of groups about what's important to achieve a life living regret-free, and also to enjoy happiness and joy. And I think that's important. I find so many people who just don't experience joy in their lives. And that's so sad to me, because that's what life is all about: getting up in the morning, loving what you're doing, loving your family, loving your friends, loving your activities, and then continuing on. So I believe in kicking your butt, as I often say, so you can live the life that you're meant to live. And I do this, of course, through my mentoring and coaching programs, through my writings, and through the shows that I produce. So, what exactly are the spunky old broad clubs? First of all, it isn't Red Hat. Red Hat is all social. We're not that. We're not a women's chamber event. It's not all business. It's a lot more than that. It's a networking group for women who are over 50 years, and created by me. And in our busy lives, I believe it's difficult to meet women who are spunky, open, and brave. So this club offers a networking environment to bring like-minded women together for the sole purpose of sharing insights, stories, and building friendships and business relationships. Now, originally, we had spunky old broad clubs in various cities, and I had leaders for these clubs. And it was a very difficult thing. I'll be very honest with you. It was a very difficult thing to maintain, because I wasn't there. I had to depend on the leaders. Sometimes they did a really great job. Sometimes it was just so-so. And so we decided to do it virtually. This way, everybody could be involved just by joining on our website, and they could join by just saying they wanted to be a member, and then we would also do our various activities online. So, you know, we feel that it's a community of not only smart businesswomen who have achieved successes and experienced challenges, but it's also for all women. And the group environment encourages dialogue, and we at the clubs provide education, events, lifestyle tips, shared advice, and of course, a networking group of like minded souls. And that's really similar to what a mastermind group is. A mastermind group usually consists of 10 to 12 people. I run a mastermind group for not for profits, and they're all people who are very involved in everything they do. I have members like Habitat for Humanity and Girl Scouts and Arts for Learning and so forth, and very diverse group, but they all have one common thing involved, and that is wanting to the best for their members, their people, their students, because they range from all ages. The important thing here is that usually in a mastermind group, it's a brainstorming session. It's people contributing ideas to each other and being able to create an aha, wow, I didn't know to think about doing that way. And I'm always amazed every single month when we meet that they are able to contribute something to each other that will make the other person's life and business much better. I mean, it's just amazing. So we hope to do that with the virtual clubs. You will be able to interact with many people, many women. And, although we welcome everyone, our target market is women over 50 looking for the secret sauce that makes life even more valuable and exciting than it already is. And so I'm hoping that those of you listening to this broadcast will go to the website and join a spunky old broad club, and we'll get started with this. So, what is our vision? I think our vision is important. It's our goal to establish a national society of women who strive to improve their personal, professional, and spiritual life while enjoying the camaraderie of like minded people. It's designed to provide seminars, teleseminars, webinars, events, newsletters, coaching, mentoring, and conversational dialogue to spark a new energy in this community of spunky, outspoken, and brave leaders. It's not a get rich quick group. It's not an MLM group. You're not required to purchase or sell any products or services. It's solely a networking club designed to pull together women of all backgrounds for a common conversation. I think it's a little different because of the open dialogue that takes place, and conversations are dictated by the club, not by me. I'm just kind of your guide along the way. We hope to see conversations such as how to deal with boomerang kids, making it through menopause, caring for aging parents, sex after 50, and even conversations on how to reinvent yourself for the next chapter in your life. The conversations are limitless. So if this is something that you think you might be interested in, you can either drop me a note at GayleCarson13 @gmail.com with just SOB Clubs in the subject line, or you can go to the website. You can fill out a form there and ask me any questions that you would like. We've got a contact form there. But let's talk about it as a mastermind situation, because I know some of you are interested in a mastermind group, and this might be perfect for you. So how often do mastermind groups meet? Now, I have been a member of, wow, as I count them up, 6 mastermind groups, and these are very high-level mastermind groups. They usually meet 3 to 4 times a year, but they have monthly conversations. They have a community group, usually a Facebook group. So it's a way to develop and create friendships along the way, as well as getting advice, etc. But how often will we meet? We, of course, you'll be conversing every single day that you want to online, because you can post and ask questions and get answers. Or you can also tune into the webinars that we'll be having, the teleseminars we'll be having, and that type of thing. So very often it's a daily ritual, or it could be a monthly ritual. We will not be having any in-person meetings to begin with, although I am having a retreat later in the year, but that's a whole different thing. However, this is something, if you need a question answered, you can go to this group, and someone in the group will have the answer, and if not, I will be glad to tune in. So how do you find the right mastermind group? Gosh, there are so many of them out there, and I hope you belong to more than one. I actually belonged to two at one time. I'm trying to think the most I belonged to. Usually when I belong to these major ones, I don't belong to another one because there's so much high-level thinking in them that I couldn't afford to think any more than I was thinking, because they're always having you do something or contribute in some way. But you usually can belong to one or two at the same time, and it won't overwhelm you, but you'll really enjoy it, I believe. So how much does a mastermind cost? In our clubs, our local clubs, we were charging $100 initiation fee and $10 a month. But actually, the online course, to begin with, the online networking, the online mastermind group, the online SOB club is free. It's free. And so you can join for no fee at all. Maybe later on we'll charge a fee. I don't know. I doubt it. But if we do, I will certainly let you know in enough time. But in the beginning, it's all free. And as charter members, and that's what you would be, a charter member, your participation is free forever. So that's something else that you might want to think about, is that you might want to join, because it is free for you for now and forever. So that's an important thing. And I just had two kitty cats join me. I know you guys like to know about my personal life, and I have these two beautiful kitties, and one is in my lap and one is staring at me from a shelf, or not a shelf, but a cabinet. And they're both so sweet, and they just love to be part of my shows. And so they just come in and kind of tick me off every time I ask them, because they do what they want to do. But anyway, so we have these get-togethers online, and I think you'll enjoy them, and I think you'll enjoy the ladies who are part of this as well. So how do they work? I think the most important thing about masterminds is, first of all, the friendships that you form, because there are people all over the world that I know and that I have contact with. I was fortunate in my early career. I did a lot of speaking in foreign countries. I spoke in 50 countries in 49 states. So I have been very fortunate to have contacts all over the world, and I continue to dialogue with them online through just email, but also Facebook and places like that. So you will make friendships that will keep you in their lives forever and ever and ever. And some of you, I know, have friends from long time ago. I think my oldest friend, I went from kindergarten all the way through high school with, and we're still talking and still friends. And as you know, we're in our 80s, so we keep going. But it's important to know that you will develop friendships here, and you will develop people who are like-minded and not necessarily like-interested. What I love about my friends is they all are interested in different things. And that, of course, keeps me sharp, because sometimes I don't have a clue what they're talking about, and I have to find out and investigate. So you're going to have a whole bunch of different people that you're going to be learning about and learning with and making friendships with. So that's an important part as well. Another thing about mastermind groups is why. Why do they work so well? Well, sometimes I think it's the ability to know that these are not people you necessarily have to see every single day of your life. You can contact them when you need to. You can contact them when you want to. But it also gives you a feeling of, well, I can talk to them when I need to, and I don't have to talk to them every single day. Because some of you, you can get overwhelmed with friendships and not get anything accomplished in your own life. So that's not what we want either. However, I can tell you that there are people that I may not have spoken to in 6 months or a year. And when I call them for advice, or when I even email them for advice, I get it. So these are friendships that you're going to make, contacts you're going to make, that you're going to know forever and ever and ever. So this is why I think a community like this is going to be very successful. And so what do mastermind groups do? Well, first of all, if you are having a particular event, or if you have a particular something that you want to know about, someone in the group knows the answer. That's number one. If you are doing something where you want to invite people from around the globe or even around the U.S., you certainly can do that through this. I mean, we do have certain things that we don't want you to do. We don't want you to be selling online or things like this or in the group, but you can let somebody know if you're going to have an event that you think is important for them to participate in. That's a whole different issue. And I think that is certainly fine. And that's what a lot of our members did in their particular clubs. They let each other know what was going on in their lives, what they were holding, what they were doing, what they were interested in. And many of them, this is very interesting too. Uh, we know that parents have a lot of issues. Well, many of you are grandparents as well, and I'm a great grandparent. And so we have our little 2 cents that we want to put in and do so, lovingly, sometimes critically, but most of all lovingly. And you can get advice from other people in the group as to how you should approach this, or, how far as a grandmother can you go? Because grandmoms are really important. I don't know if you realize this, but there are so many. I think there are, I don't know how many millions. I haven't gotten the latest numbers, but I know it used to be over 1 million grandparents that were raising their grandchildren because their kids were just unable to do it for a variety of reasons, from money, health, drugs, everything else. So it's an important issue for you. What do you owe to your grandchildren? What should you be doing for your grandchildren? So that's another thing that I think a mastermind group like this is important to have. Also, you know, I think you also need to be aware that when we talk about an SOB club, there's something about women. I mean, we know we are more compassionate, more empathic than the male species. Not that they're incapable of being so. My husband was really great at this. But I'll tell you something else. There were things that affected me that didn't affect him, and vice versa. So this is a group of women who are like-minded, who are all spunky, open, and brave, who are all interested in living the best life they possibly can, who are interested in what does the second half of my life look like? What am I going to accomplish? What am I going to do? What is it that is important to me? And so that's something that I think is really important for you all to be a part of. So let's go ahead and talk about how you're going to do this. You're going to go to my website, which is spunkyoldbroad.com. There's a contact form there, and you can fill it in and say, I'm interested in becoming a member of the virtual SOB club. And we will be back in touch with you. I answer every single contact that comes to me. No one is ignored. So if you're interested in something like that, do it that way. If you feel like you want to reach out through email, my email is Gayle, Gayle, Carson 13@gmail.com. You can contact me through that as well. And tell me, when you're doing that, a little bit about yourself as well. What do you do? How old are you? Where do you live? What do you want to get out of the club? What would you like to see offered by the club? I mean, we are going to be doing webinars and teleseminars, and we'll have a little newsletter and all of that kind of thing. But I do want to make sure that I'm addressing the needs that you have. So that's something that I want you to be aware of as well. And there are some of you out there who are very social. And you're going to probably be very active in something like this because that's who you are. You love to talk to people. You love to meet new people. And there are others of you who are more reserved and shy. And you're going to say, well, I'm not sure if this is going to be for me. I don't know if how I'm going to feel about this. Well, there's no charge, and you can drop out at any time. If you're not happy and you're not having a great time with us, then you can leave at any time. There's no obligation at all. But I think it's worth your while to see who else might be thinking the way you do. Who else might be in your own area locally? Who else could you visit when you go to various cities? It's amazing. In some of the groups that I belong to, I hear all the time, oh, I'm going to London. Oh, well, why don't you stay with us? Or I'm going to Istanbul. What are some of the best sights to see there? And someone has been there and says, oh, you've got to make sure you go and see this. So it's just amazing to me how these relationships are developed. So it's key for you to do this. The other thing I think that's really important is, I did a show I did a lot of TV on the 3 worst mistakes to make when starting a second career. And I think there are many of you out there who are interested in perhaps starting a second career. And I talked about the feeling of remembering when you were very successful in high school, in college, in your first job. I talked about keeping up with the latest technology because that's important in just about every job today. And I can tell you, I'm a technophobe. I am the most non-technical person you'd ever want to meet. But if I have to do something, I learn how to do it. And if I know I won't do it as well as somebody else can do it, then I hire somebody to do it. And I can give you an example of that right now. I decided to upgrade my computer system. And of course, my computer guy said, "Oh, well, you just do this, you just do that." I said, "No, you come and do it." So he bought me some a new printer and a laser printer with scanning and all of that. Well, you should have seen all the things that he had to do to install this thing. If I had done it, I would still be working on it. So, there are things that I just know that is easier to hire done. But this will give you the opportunity to be with people who are like you. So whether it's technical skills you've got to be well versed in, or whether it's remembering who you were when you were young and did accomplish a lot of things, or whatever it happens to be, the important thing is we're going to help you along that way. So I'm looking forward. I'm hoping that many of you will join me on this SOB Club journey. I hope that many of you will be in contact with me. And of course, if you want to really start a club in your area and you want to, hold meetings in your area, we can talk about that too. But I just know in this day and age of technology that that's going to be the best way to go about it. So my hopes for you is that you are going to be able to do this well and join us. I'm looking forward to it. Again, we're going to be providing all kinds of education. We're going to have some events. Many of them will be online, but they will be events. We'll give you lifestyle tips. We're going to share advice. We're going to talk about things that are of interest to you, boomerang kids, grandkids, making it through menopause, caring for aging parents, because some of you are in that sandwich generation where you're looking after kids and you're looking after your parents, sex after 50, and even conversations on how to reinvent yourself for the next chapter in your life. All of that is a part of where we're going with this. So my wish is for you to do this. Now, some of you have asked about personally. I'm still, going through my breast cancer journey. I'm on medications now. I take chemo, and I'm doing well, folks. I'm doing really well. And that's another thing that we can talk about in the clubs is if you're suffering from various illnesses or you have a particular ailment, someone in the club is going to be going through the same thing. I can talk to you about surgeries. I can talk to you about chemo. I can talk to you about radiation. I can talk to you about all these things because I've gone through it and I'm going through it. So I'm looking forward to all of this and all of you and hoping that this is going to be a part of our journey together. And I hope that many of you are enjoying what you're doing now, your love life, your family life, your work life, your personal life. Of course, I have to leave you with this. It is my goal that every one of you, when you wake up in the morning, you get up with a smile. That's the important thing. Face your day with a smile. And my wish is for you to end your day with a smile. And when you go to sleep, you have this smile on your face and you're happy about how your day has gone. Do we have challenges during the day? Absolutely. Are you going to be facing those with gusto? Absolutely. But the important thing is, remember, get up with a smile, go to bed with a smile, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. That's what makes you who you are. So I'm looking forward to hearing from many of you. And I hope that you'll be part of our SOB clubs. And we will talk about this at the time that you join. I will greet each of you personally. And I certainly hope that I'll be hearing from you. This is Gayle Carson saying, Goodbye for living regret-free, and welcome to the SOB, the Spunky Old Broad Clubs. You've had the opportunity to get to know me over the last few years, and I'd like to get to know you as well. One of the things I'm offering is training for the media. I have a wonderful program that will get you ready for any radio or TV interview you might be offered. Many of you are doing wonderful things, but no one knows about them. Others of you are successful and wonder, what's next? Whether you're in a business or have a special cause or a specific event you're promoting, media can help, and I can help you master your message so you can master the media. If this sounds interesting to you, email me at gaylecarson13@gmail.com with media training in the subject line. I promise I will be in touch. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. I choose my guests carefully, so if you have someone you'd like me to interview, please drop me a line at gaylecarson13@gmail.com. In the meantime, check out my intro program, Mindset Matters, at www.sobmindset.com. See you next week.